Well, it appears that the Roanoke River here in Salem has been going down. And you may ask, how do you know that? You're not a hydrologist. This is how. We've been keeping an eye on these water lines. And you see this post when we got here this afternoon. This was underwater. And you can see how high the water was.
You can see the crowds of people that are behind me, hundreds here still standing out on these streets. We're just adjacent from the Capitol. Really, the Capitol is actually out here behind me. And the crowds remain, though some are starting to head for their vehicles and leave the area here just off Capitol grounds.
Back out here live at the Salem Rodeo, and again joined by my good buddy Kevin. Kevin, this is where I belong. I can handle this. I've ridden a bull before at a restaurant.
Jeff, I've heard about the bull you rode, and it wasn't even plugged up at the time.
Oh, see, that's wrong.
What did she just say? Well, the CAFR, or the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, is a nearly 300-page document published by the city that next to no one reads. But the problem is, deep inside these numbers and words are some good nuggets of information. The problem is, no one is seeing it. That's why for the first time this year, they've taken the big copy and made it into a smaller copy, a simplified copy, for people like us. We watched this entire thing play out at Brown's grandmother's house. We can tell you tonight that that search turned up empty. They were able to make their way into the house. They cleared the house, secured the house, and they were not able to find Brown. Now, this was an FBI-led effort with Roanoke City supporting. Now, as to why they went back to this house tonight, because they had been here earlier today, that is still the question. We asked if it was because there was some sort of tip that they got, or if it was just a precautionary check, and we could not get the answer to that question. With lights trained on a small home on Tillett Road Thursday night, about a dozen federal agents backed up by Roanoke City Police screamed orders into the house, hoping Michael Brown would come out. And after 3 more times trying to get him out over about 30 more minutes, they got no response, and that's when SWAT forced their way in. We could see them through the front window as they turned on the lights and swept through the house, and we could hear the SWAT team say about 20 minutes later that the house was all clear and they did not find Brown. Neighbors started peeking out their window, wondering what was going on as police had driven in silently and made their move. They could be seen walking back and forth out of the house with their weapons and at one point with a box. This is Brown's grandmother's house, where he had been spotted early Thursday morning, setting this search in motion. It's not clear why federal agents came back to the house Thursday night, as police had already searched it earlier in the day, finding nothing, and have been watching it with a close eye. After clearing the house, they eventually searched the rest of the street, talking to neighbors and looking into an empty house that's for sale, but they didn't find anything there either. Neighbors didn't want to go on camera with us, but say they're concerned that Brown has not been captured yet.
At this point, folks are throwing their rocks, getting them in play. It is the first time that any of these people have done this, and they are having a good time getting rocks to do at least approximately what they want.
The best way to learn curling is to do it.
The stone is, even though it's 40 pounds, it feels fairly light because it glides across the ice.
I think most people are usually a little bit surprised at how hard it is at the beginning, but then they're surprised at how quick they can pick it up. We were really inspired after the men's team won the gold medal, and we're like, we should bring curling to the Roanoke Valley.
I saw it on the Olympics, and the camaraderie, the sportsmanship, and it looked like a lot of fun.
Nice!
I recommend this to anybody that's looking to do something different, and again, to get out of the house and see what Roanoke has to offer.
You may have heard their music. You definitely know the brands they've worked for. But you probably don't know
What's a super dope move? Everybody know me.
it all comes from right here in a Roanoke basement.
If Snoop were to ever call up and be like, hey, I want to make songs, we'd be like, all right, you got to come to my mom's basement.
It's Kirk Dudley's family basement, and it still has shag carpet. Dudley, Josh Kimbrough, and George Trent, all now in their 30s, among some of the others that hung out here as kids and grew up making music here too.
We were also making music that other people wanted to listen to also. That, you know, that we couldn't find out make
that are great for being placed in movies or television ads.
Their latest placement is on the trailer for Human Capital, a Universal Pictures movie out this spring. 3 years ago, they started their label Push Audio after landing this McDonald's spot. And since then, their music has gone worldwide. Tresemme, United Healthcare, and even this popular YouTuber's viral video about a fake Tesla bike.
Making big boy plays, and I'm about to run the town.
Once you get one, you see people see that type of innovation in your work, and another one to follow. So that kind of prompted the move out here to LA.
Scott Dudley is the other Dudley brother, recently moving to California to grow the business. But the heart is still in Roanoke. A recording studio they built as teens in a closet is nearly the same.
Here is Scott. Here is George.
Mrs. Dudley is blood to her two sons, but claims them all. The Dudley house is the kind of place where there's always food, and she couldn't be prouder.
They're fine young men. They have homes of their own, and they still know their way back to home and back to the basement because that's where they did their music.
They accomplished in just 3 years what others work a lifetime for. Scott says there's a secret sauce, and it's not forgetting where you came from.
And being from Roanoke, that's what made us different, and innovation and being different is what shines out here. So it's definitely home is where the heart is, and that's what started.
In Roanoke, Shane Dwyer, 10 News, working for you.